Utupelio chakolachetu tunachohitaji utusamehe makosa yetu kumana setona hawasamehe wale yotukasea usitui katika majaribu, lakini utokoe na yule muovu milele. Chakolachetu tunachohitaji utusamehe makosa yetu, kumana setona hawasamehe wale yotukasea usituti katika majaribu, lakini tutokoe na yule muovu milele.
Sorry about that. Good morning and welcome to Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living. That was the Lord's Prayer in Swahili. Wasn't that beautiful? Thank you so much for being here with us this morning. I am Ruth Hall, the president of the Board of Trustees, and I want to take the opportunity to thank all of you from the Board of Trustees for being here live in person on Zoom. We are very blessed to have the ability to record service and to post it on social media so that those who can't join us on Zoom can see it later. But I also want to say thank you again to those of you who are here this morning. It's such a difference for our speakers and our performers to be able to have a live audience to see. And also, I think it's so advantageous for you to see it in person live instead of a recording. The connection and the spiritual love that comes through live in person is so important for all of us. So thank you again for being here live. And for those that are joining us on Facebook later, please consider joining us live when you can. So thank you very much. And now I'm going to turn this over to our beautiful spirit who is our practitioner of the day, Margie Lukefield. She is just a wonderful wonderful addition to our center, and she's going to lead us into a deeper dive. And so, Margie, take it away.
Good morning and welcome, welcome, welcome to our spiritual center on Zoom and band together. And I'm so excited today to be welcoming everybody. And now if you unmute and we can cheer each other with love and hugs and screams and everything.
Good morning.
Hey!
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. Woo!
Love
I
you
love
all.
you all. Yes.
Yes. All right. Now we're going to have this. And in this moment, it's so sacred that we're together and able to be together in love. And I know that this presence is right here with us, this divine, beautiful, powerful, loving presence is with us today. And I know that each one of you, along with myself, is one and the same with this beloved divine presence. And as I know this truth about all of us, I bless this service. I bless those that are not here today, like Reverend Patricia and Doug and Reverend Sarah's here, and Sharon. We miss her. God bless you, Reverend Sharon. And we bless the service, and we are so grateful for all the talents that's put here. And together we say, and so it is. Yes, so our monthly theme is living as compassionate conduits. And isn't that true? And please say with me muted, our vision, we are a welcoming sanctuary community where all are accepted, valued, and supported in the global family. Our mission is we inspire and nurture personal and global transformation through the teaching of science and mind. And our purpose is in joy and love, we connect in service to all life. Please enjoy Karen Drucker's morning prayer. Thank you.
Surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and pure and free, as I continue walking in this mystery. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am grateful every moment, every day. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know that what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am kinder every moment, every day, and I'm more loving every moment, every day. I will surrender every moment, every day.
And our readings for today, for the week, is the responsibility of setting the law in motion is ours. We should sense that back of the word which we speak is the power of the universe surging to express itself. Ernest Holmes. Since the law is mental, one must believe in it in order to have it work affirmatively for him. But it is always working accordingly to his belief, whether he is conscious of this truth or not. Demonstration takes place through the field of the one universal mind. We set the power in motion, the law produces the effect. We plant the seed, the law produces the plant. Ernest Holmes. To move the world, we must first move ourselves. Socrates. And please now enjoy our chant with Rumi. Lose yourself in silence.
Lose yourself. Lose yourself in this love. When you lose yourself in this love, you will find everything. Lose yourself. Lose yourself. Do not fear this loss, for you will rise from the earth and embrace the endless heavens. Lose yourself. Lose yourself. Escape from this earthly form, for this body is a chain and you are its prisoner. Smash through the prison wall and walk outside with the kings and the princes. Lose yourself. Lose yourself at the foot of the glorious King. When you lose yourself before the King, you will become the King. Lose yourself. Lose yourself. Escape from the black cloud that surrounds you. Then you will see your own light as radiant as the full moon. Now enter that silence. This is the surest way to lose yourself. What is your life about anyway? Nothing but a struggle to be someone. Nothing but a running from your own silence. A guide has entered this life in silence. His message is only heard in silence. Take a sip of his precious wine and lose yourself. Don't insult the greatness of his love, for he helps all those who suffer in silence. Polish the mirror between the breaths. Go with him beyond words. He knows your every deed. He is the one who moves the wheel of heaven in silence. Every thought is buried in your heart. He will reveal them one by one in silence. Turn each of your thoughts into a bird and let them fly to the other world. One is an owl, one is a falcon, one is a crow. Each one is different from the others, but they are all the same in silence. To see the moon that cannot be seen, turn your eyes inward and look at yourself in silence. In this world and the next, don't talk about this and that. Let him show you everything shining as one in silence.
Well, now I am so excited to be introducing Reverend Sara Nichols. I've only heard her speak once, and I was really taken with all her experiences and her expertise on to me political things, and I just love that she puts out there and you can feel it and you know it. And we haven't seen her for a while, so we missed her. And Reverend Sara is a minister of Sacramento who chairs the Centers for Spiritual Living and Spiritual Living, Spirituality Motivated Social Engagement Committee. She is the author of Nichols blog. And I've heard of this, it's very good. Her special focus is ministry and is healing both the physical body and the body politic. Reverend Sara spent over 20 years as a lawyer and legislative advocate working for Medicare for all and labor rights in Congress and the California legislature. She lives with her husband of 30 years in an international community in downtown Sacramento. Please Please, please, please welcome Reverend Sara Nichols.
Thank you. And thank you, Margie, so much. And thank you, Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living. I missed you and I have been a bit AWOL, so I'm very glad to be here today. And Snickles is my nickname, and that's why my blog is called Snickles Blog. So you can call me Snickles anytime you want. Yeah, I found myself saying on social media today that as if this were a really attractive reason to be at a talk, you cannot be anything that you want to be. And so that's part of what we're going to be talking about. The thing is, you can be you, and that is enough. You can only be you, and that is plenty. It is wonderful. So related to that is God is all of us, but we are not all of God. So our philosophy is interesting. I've been thinking a lot about science of mind and new thought philosophy in which the Centers for Spiritual Living are based, and how I think partly because it seems so attractive as a marketing thing, we make it sound like we can put our minds to absolutely anything and just get it, right? I think I want a new house, I get a new house. I want a new car, I get a new car. I want a new job, I get a new job. I want a new body, I get a new body. But then some of us come in and we start doing that work, and the house and the body and the car don't necessarily instantly apparate, right? It doesn't feel like we are now Harry Potter wizards with our wands. It feels a little bit more like we're trying and trying and trying. And some things do come and some things don't. And that can be confusing. Does this stuff work or doesn't this stuff work, right? And we might even think that about the political realm as well, that we want a different president or different voters or different just people to behave differently towards each other or act differently towards each other. We might even sit and focus on that, but it might not appear right away, right? Or we might think, I've heard all this wonderful stuff about changing my body, but why does it still hurt in my body so much, right? And so all these things can be debilitating to the faith and the interest in using this practice scientifically. So I want to talk a little bit about what's true and what's not, and what I'm working with today. I did recently read a book called Bright-Sided: How the Relentless Promotion of Positive Thinking Has Undermined America by Barbara Ehrenreich. And it's kind of subversive it actually deals with, it's subversive from the point of view of American culture and New Thought. And which is why you might not have heard of it. Barbara Ehrenreich is a fabulous writer whose books are amazing, nickeled and dimed, where she went undercover for an entire year as a person living on minimum wage to see what it was like to live and support herself entirely on minimum wage and what that was like. She was not a person who had ever done that before. Is one of the truly transformative books I've ever read. And this book, it actually really does examine our philosophy in great detail and how its role in America and its role also positive thinking in evangelical Christian culture. And it finds what's true about it and what's not true about it. I'm not going to be talking about it too much more than that right now, but I just wanted to introduce you to, anything that shakes me up and changes my way of thinking, so I'm not always thinking the same thoughts I thought yesterday, is worth exploring for me, because I want to find why I'm attracted to New Thought and New Thought culture is because I'm interested literally in how it works, right? Scientifically, it either, what works, the reason we call it religious science or science of mind is because we're trying to make it replicable, right? So that what we do, when we do it, it has results. Like, and not everything even, science is this interesting thing where we talk about it as if, um, when it's scientific, we always understand it, and that's not true. We don't always understand it. For example, red and blue, when you put them together, always make purple, but we actually don't know why. No one can explain why. It's just true, right? Another thing is 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen, when you put them together, make H2O, which is water. And scientists have no idea why those 2 particles create the thing we call water, or what the quality of wetness is that it has, right? You can't tell from looking at 1 hydrogen particle and 1 oxygen particle anything about the properties of water, but when you put it together, bam, it's water. So that's what I'm interested in when I look at science, is the science of mind, the science of heart, the science of spirituality is what actually works. So why am I talking about all this? Well, really, the reason I'm talking about all this is because I'm in the middle of another period in my life where I'm really searching on what is next for me. Anybody else doing that? Like, what is my soul calling for? What's the next phase here, right? I spent 20 years as a lawyer and a legislative advocate in Washington and Sacramento. I changed my life already once and became a New Thought minister, right? And I've told some of you about that story in the past. I did that at the age of 50. I'm not wanting to stop being a New Thought minister, but that's who I am. But what I don't know is what my ministry is right now. It is what, and all of you have ministries, whether you know it or not, whether you're a minister or not, there's something in you. I know I did not read the book I'm about to tell you about when I was supposed to read it in ministerial school. And I didn't read it this past summer when it was a book of the month. And I think you all spent a fair amount of time on this book with Reverend Sharon, which was The Great Work of Your Life by Stephen Cope. Raise your hand if you kind of remember anything about this. I'm not seeing a lot of hands. Well, that's nice. So, because it will be less embarrassing if I talk about stuff from it. And you're like, yeah, Reverend Sharon already told me. This book, The Great Work of Your Life, A Guide for the Journey to Your True Calling, is just rocking my world right now. And it's where Stephen Cope, is taking, he's looking at what the Hindus or the yogis call your dharma, your truest calling. And he's looking at how do we identify what our truest calling is, and how do we actually align with it, point in the direction of it, and how do we bring it forth. And he looks at stories of famous people that we've heard about and their dharma and their true calling, but also totally normal people like us and what they went through, many of them much later in life, which is very helpful to me. He wrote the book when he was exactly my age, 59, which he describes as deep in middle age. But he also describes a number of people who are even deeper in middle age. I'm rather stubbornly clinging to the idea that I'm still in middle age, so I like that. I like that idea of deep in middle age. Deep is where I intend to go. And he is looking at what he is also using the story of the Bhagavad Gita, which I know you heard Reverend Sharon talk about earlier in the year, and teach about. And the story of, because that is a story about the Dharma. So he's weaving all those things together in this short and amazing book. So one of the things he quotes Krishna as saying in the Bhagavad Gita, and also is essentially himself saying, is you cannot be anything you want to be. That's actually a prevalent myth in our culture. You know, we think of ourselves as good parents if we tell our kids, you can be anything you want to be. And it's true in the sense that you could go get a degree in various things if you were lucky enough to be able to get have the ability to get into a college and pay for it and do all those things, or you could get training and you could call yourself a this or a that, right? But it's not true in the sense that you are suddenly that is transformed into your calling simply by you putting your mind to it and making it happen. It might or might not be your calling. And so what he's really inviting us to do here is to be care more about our spiritual DNA. He says that we have been implanted with a seed at birth of our Dharma. We were given to it from the moment we got here. And it is our deep, deep calling. And it is in there. And every single one of us has had it from birth. Every single one of us. Raise your hand and say, I have a calling. I have a calling. Isn't that great news? I have a calling. And we have a calling, but we may or may not have been pointing towards that calling and acting from that calling consciously. We actually have been acting from it our whole lives, but we may not be giving ourselves credit for it, right? And one of the things I love in this is that he's looking at people who are deep in middle life or earlier in middle life, who feel like they're not successful, who feel like they haven't accomplished what they thought they should accomplish, that they haven't done what they thought they were here to do yet, and they don't feel as if they've got that. And his like special thing in life is teasing out of people their dharma, you know, helping them see that they're actually doing what they're here to do, helping them see what that is and where it is. We also have, you know, this idea of do what you love and the money will follow. And I think that is kind of a more subtle concept than we really than we realize as well, right? It doesn't always mean I'm going to get paid to do my dharma. I might or might not get paid to do my dharma. What it does mean, and I think the money will follow in spiritual terms, what it means is that I will continue to have a roof over my head and food on my table and clothes on my back. I will be fully employed by spirit. Repeat after me, I am fully employed by spirit. It's important to recognize that. Feel how high a vibration that is. I am fully employed by spirit. Wow. I needed to remember that today. I am breaking one of the cardinal rules of Sunday Talk Ministers, which is I'm talking about something I need to hear right now. I was supposed to get on the other side of knowing all of this and then come back to you, but that's not what's happening today. So God has already given us everything it's going to give us. That's one point I want to make. Its discovery is what I'm here to do. So I've been given this dharma. I've been given this calling. I've been given this seed planted in myself. And it's there. My job is to find it. And now everything I'm given points in the direction of that. And that includes feelings, and that includes bad feelings. And it includes great experiences. It includes experiences that feel terrible. They're all there to point me in the direction of finding what it is that spirit wants to show me. And in one case, it can be, what is my calling? And so I have an idea, I have had an idea my whole life of something outside of me that is called success, something outside of me that is called impressive, that is called being impressed with me and thinking that I'm amazing and wonderful, right? And the degree to which I pursue that in my life has been extraordinary. And I am finding recently that I'm doing more and more and more than I have before. I've done many rounds of this, of my spiritual work around this this thirst out there to have you tell me that I'm okay, right? That somebody else is going to, or some job title, or some amount of money that I'm earning, or some appearance on a national talk show, or some partner that I attract into my life, or some house that I manifest, or some car that I drive, that all of those things are going to tell me that I'm okay. And then there's an enormous amount in American culture to try to validate that idea that any one of those things is going to be how I know that I'm okay. But that that wanting is actually a call to find within me that which I am seeking from all those other things. We're going to have an experience of that in a minute. We know a lot, we talk a lot in this philosophy about think it, feel it, believe it, right? It's inside out. How do I want to feel? And then allowing spirit to reveal that. And I do subscribe to that dramatically, but it is how do I want to feel if I have that job and that money and that partner and that house and that car. That is of much greater interest to me today than the house, the car, the partner. Now, that's easy for me to say because I have a lot of those trappings already in my life. So I'll cop to that. But I've been happily married for 30 years. I have a beautiful home. I have food on my table and gas in my tank. And well, actually, I don't have gas in my tank. I have electricity in my tank. But I have an electric car, so no gas. But I have a lot of those trappings in my life, but I am here to tell you that it is possible for me to have those trappings and not have the feelings that I wanted to have when I got them. So the only way that I am going to actually have those feelings is by concentrating on them. So I wrote a letter, since I'm in a transition, I did what I periodically do, and I wrote a letter to myself from the future. And my future self is future Sara Nichols, future Snickles, as you guys learned earlier. My nickname is Snickles from Margie. Future Snickles is writing back to current Snickles and telling her how it is a year from now. And I'm just going to read to you what she's telling me about my body and my career. She says, Sara Nichols 2021 is saying to Sara Nichols 2020, in my body, I feel stronger than ever before. I can easily bend all the way down on one leg and balance on bended knee and come up feeling great. My right leg is as flexible and strong as my left. I can dance and I can go a little bit lower now and come right back up. And I feel sexier and more beautiful than ever. And my energy is high and yet balanced. And I look and feel gorgeous in everything I wear, and my skin and hair are lustrous and vibrant and healthy, and so am I. Now, some of that was manifestation stuff, not just feeling, you could tell, little mixture. And in my career, I feel connected, energized, and privileged in my work. It is truly humbling and lovely to be and feel compensated to do what I do. Notice I'm not specifying who's compensating me. I know I make a difference. I know I work with people I love and respect. I feel loved and respected and treasured in turn. I am into my work enough to prioritize it and focus on it. I feel in my zone of genius, yet I can and do leave it for hours or days at a time while focusing on other things. I have a wonderful life-work balance because of the ease and flow. Now you, if you were writing your own letter from the future, would write other things. But I spend a few minutes every single day at that vibration of sitting in what would it feel like if this is how my body felt. Sometimes that could be a memory too. And what would it feel like if this is how my career or my livelihood or my dharma or my soul's purpose were playing out? Esther Hicks, who channels Abraham, says that if we do that for only 9 seconds a day, if we just sit and feel the way we want to feel for only 9 seconds a day, it will actually completely attract and transform us. 9 seconds. But how many of us spend, all the other seconds of that day focusing on how we don't want to feel, right? Angry at politics, angry at the pandemic, sad or disappointed, or pretending worse. And this is endemic to New Thought. There, I got to use the word pandemic and endemic within a very short time of each other. That was fun. But the that we how many of us in New Thought or spiritual circles spend a lot of time pretending we're not angry or sad or feeling like a victim? That's another thing that I can spend a lot of time on. And that is not a good idea. That's not the same as following those arrows in the direction of my healing. That's called pretending. And that means that I am actually being given opportunities by spirit to find a way out of victimhood, and I am not taking them because I want to pretend that I'm not angry or sad or scared. And that never works. That's like if I've got a check engine light on the dash of my car and I pretend it's not there, and I go to a mechanic and I ask them to disconnect the light so I can't see the light anymore, and it's because that the light is the problem. The angry, sad, scared is a check spiritual engine light that is there and is meant to get my attention, and it's meant for me to follow it. It's not meant for me to pretend it's not there because I'm a spiritual person and I love everybody and I only see the light in you. No, that's not how it works. All right, so I am going to facilitate a short, I know I've been talking for a while, I'm going to facilitate a short practice for you to feel more about your Dharma and to go to it. Is everybody up for that? All right. Let's see. So take a breath with me. And close your eyes if you can. If it's comfortable, put your feet flat on the floor. And just begin to become aware of the space that is where you are. Where you are in space and how and what it would be if it were all space. And take a deep breath. And just begin to breathe. And right now, picture a cord from the base of your spine deep, deep into the earth. and allow, and you don't have to know how to do this. You can just follow the direction of my voice. Your spirit knows how to do this. But just allow anything that is not you to go down that grounding cord deep into the earth. Anything that is not yours. That means it was your parents, it was societies, it was your spouse's idea, it was your teacher's idea, whatever it was, somebody else, something else, even if you don't know the difference between yours and not yours, don't worry about that. Just allow it and know that spirit knows how to let go of anything that's actually not yours. Just for now, let the Great Mother compost it and return it to original source of light and love. Don't worry. If you want to take back something that is not yours, you can do that later. But right now, you're going to let go of it. And now just notice, how do you want to feel in your body? Can you remember a time that you felt the way you want to feel, that you had the energy, the joy, the ease of movement? Can you picture yourself playing and running and dancing? Do you remember a time you could did that? Or can you picture someone else doing it and how it would feel if they did? Whatever works, picture it. Just picture like that freedom and that childlike sense of just being in your body and moving and having fun. And it's like how great it is, and how you can stand and you can sit and you can squat and you can run and you can walk and you can hike. All of it, just feel that feeling in your body. You remember, or you've seen it and you know what it would feel like. Feel it now. And now, how do you want to feel in your, I'm going to call it career. A bunch of us may be retired, a bunch of us may not. It may not be career in a traditional sense, but in our soul's calling, in how we are in the world. What is it that absolutely brings you joy? Is that dancing? Is it singing? Is it gardening? Is it reading? Is it caregiving? Is it photography? Is it hiking? What is it? Just picture that and the joy that you get when you think of that writing. What is it? I think you know what it is that gives you great joy, and I want you to connect with that and picture what it's like when you do that. Where do you already feel this way in your life, or where have you felt it before? Just picture it and feel it. What are you already here to do that you're not acknowledging? Put your hand on your heart and just acknowledge yourself for the contribution that you are. You're an incredible contribution. Spirit isn't interested in whether something's big or small. Your soul's calling is big by definition because it's yours. And by aligning with it and pointing towards it, you are that. That is big. And now we just move into a state of gratitude. This is that gratitude week, after all, that we're coming into. Gratitude, as Dr. Joe Dispenza says, is the ultimate state of receivership. Just grateful for everything that we actually have. Grateful for food on our table. Grateful for clothes on our back. Grateful for the fact that we are alive, that we are in a body, that we won the lottery and got to come down and be spiritual beings having a human experience. Grateful, grateful, grateful. Grateful that we live in the United States of America. Grateful that we still have a democracy. Grateful. Grateful. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now just come back to this time and space and bring with it the feelings and the knowledge, and maybe the increased excitement about finding your Dharma, your life's purpose, your soul's calling. And then that is just that's our prayer request. That's the only prayer request any of us ever have, is to feel the way we want to feel. Yeah, we could decide that some other trapping is going to create that if we elect a certain person or change our democracy, we're going to feel that if our body changes or our career changes, we're going to feel that. But the feeling of it is what we want. And so let's begin to move to take this into prayer. And then Ruth, it's going to put up on the screen a reminder of how you can make a prayer request by going. If you go into the chat now, you can ask me, and I will put this into the spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer that I'm about to do. You can also go to our website anytime and make a prayer request, and all our wonderful practitioners will pray on it all week long. So let's take this message into prayer, knowing that there is only this one power, one mind, one heart, one infinite presence, in, as, and through all things. All knowing, all powerful, all delivering, all redeeming. Deliverer, Redeemer. I like the songs that have that. It is beyond time, beyond space, beyond expectation, beyond limitation, beyond lack, beyond precedent. And it is living out its perfect life as me. And as I know that for me, I know that for everyone here, everyone within the sound of my voice. And so I speak my word with and for all these spiritual beings having a spiritual experience in a human body on a human plane. I speak my word for every single one of us, becoming aware of what our true soul's calling is, and pointing in that direction, aligning with it, and then coming from it into the world, not to it, but from it. Looking for and noticing every day when we are presented with choices, how those choices feel, and feeling those choices and going, oh, this choice feels like me. This choice feels like my true soul's calling. This choice feels like who I am, how I want to feel, and how I choose to feel is this. And I choose this. Acting from that picture that we just got. So finding the truth and living and loving. Living in love and safety from that. Every single one of us has that seed within us, and it is growing now. It has already borne so much fruit. Well, we didn't even know maybe how much fruit it had borne, and we weren't even there to harvest it. So now we begin the harvest. Oh, look at the bounty. Look at the cornucopia. What is it to be in Thanksgiving this week is to be grateful for that which we have been given, the incredible spiritual DNA we have been given, and how it has been playing out. And thank you, God, for that. Thank you for this life, for my gifts, for the gifts of every person here, for the incredible difference they make in my life, in the life of the world, in the life of the planet, in the earth. Thank you. Thank you for this center and for all it does to allow us to release the truth of our spiritual DNA and to bring it forth and to prosper the world. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you for fully employing me, for putting food on my table and clothes on my back and a roof over my head and making my car go and bringing me those ideas and those gifts. Thank you. I know that all of it is good. I know that all of it is here to be a contribution to the planet and to me. I let go of every thought, belief, opinion, and conclusion that was not mine to begin with. Everything that my parents and the society and the consciousness and the human DNA tried to put upon me to say that I couldn't do or be who I am. And I step forth into my full magnificence. No matter how small that may seem, it is huge. And I let go with great gratitude, knowing that I am fully surrendered to my good. Thank you. I let go and I let God. And so it is. Amen.
This is a song called Keep On Walking, because that's what we're doing, hand in hand with one another.
Walk a mile or a minute in another man's shoes. He's got a path to take to find his truth. Any way you spin it, he's a lot like you. Finding his faith on roads that you never choose. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission always. Let go of the old condition. Let that be your only mission always. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Tell a tale, you're in it. Hear a brother man's blues. You got a destination now and no excuse. Why do you condemn it when it's not your own? You can't unsee it once the light has shone. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission always. Let go of the old condition. Let that be your only mission always. Keep on walking. front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission always. Let go of the old condition. Let love be your only mission always. Yeah, yeah. Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission always. Let go of the old condition. Let love be your only mission always. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Oh, keep on walking. Yeah, yeah. Keep on walking.
Let's keep on walking in that love and gratitude. So I have a message from our board. So as we look forward to gathering in place in 2021, the board and Reverend Sharon have been meeting to create ways and means to support our community during these chaotic and changing times. Jaime continues to offer his healing circle. There is Wisdom Wednesdays, classes, virtual and in-person gathering opportunities. Reverend Sharon continues to offer her services in facilitating weddings and memorials as she has this past week, and all are being offered as love on a love offering basis. And so now, as many of you know, we vacated our premises as we negotiate ending our lease. Many of you volunteered to assist in the cleaning and the moving of our chairs and our other belongings to an appropriate storage unit that was rented on a monthly basis. Now, we are still in the process of negotiating the end of our lease. And in the meantime, we are still paying our monthly lease and the bills that are associated with that, while we are paying our storage fees and other expenses. And so the board would like to express our deep gratitude and appreciation for your continued financial support that you all so graciously give. And that is also so very much needed at this time. So please accept our deep gratitude and blessings for this financial support. And so now this is our time that we have, that we offer for giving back. And for today, we have a new affirmation that we can read aloud as we stay muted. So, in deep gratitude and thankfulness, I affirm I live in a creative and abundant universe. Its infinite good continually flows in, through, and as me, expressing as the ever expanding law of circulation. And so it is. Thank you. And now for our announcements. Wow, we've got some great things coming up. We have our Wisdom Wednesdays And our next set is being offered by Becca, and it is Emotional Freedom Techniques. It's a three-part series on meditation and EFT, which is a form of tapping. Now, please remember that the fourth Wednesday of November and December, we are foregoing them as we gather with our families during that time. And then they will continue in January on the second and fourth um, Wednesday with Becca in her as she completes her three-part series. So please check into that. Now, as we continue to support Heart in our community, please check out the Underground Connection where they are collecting clothing and shoes from K to 12. So please check out the times that they are and days that they are open that we can do that. Ah, and now you got to mark the weekend of December 5th and 6th on your calendar. It is that weekend that we got a couple of things going. One is that we are partnering with Speed World in collecting toys for tots. So we can go and drop off our new and unwrapped toys, excuse me, at Speed World Raceway, and the address is there. And while we're there, we can explore what all that is offered there. And if you can't do that, well, take a look at our next slide. The Saturday of December 5th, join us in Soulmates Social Walk that Connie Altman is leading us in a social walk. So we can either walk or we can sit and gather safely as we recognize and honor social distancing. And if you're unable to get out to Speed World, Reverend Sharon will be there and she will be collect the toys that are dropped off there and she will go and deliver them to Speed World. So please check this out. The directions and all that information is there. It's such a great opportunity to gather with each other and also get a bit of exercise. I mean, this is definitely weekend is on my calendar. So please continue to check out on a continual basis our website, our meetup, and our Facebook pages for all the upcoming events, the services, and our opportunities for donating. So thank you. And so now for our closing song.
Join us in our closing song, especially for this Thanksgiving week. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And so our gift this week is our affirmation. And it is, our affirmation is, as I change my thoughts and beliefs, the world around me changes. My mind is the mind of God itself. Oh, how perfect is that? And so please relax for our benediction as we breathe in this gratitude for these perfect messages of today, of this message of discovering that seed and nurturing that seed that was implanted in us at birth, the seed of our true calling, of what we came here to do, and we surrender to this as we surrender to our greatest, highest good, and we walk and breathe in pure faith. And there's this great message of keep on walking. We keep on walking, we keep on breathing in this love and this gratitude as we take these messages and deepen them within us throughout the week. We are, and I am, so eternally grateful for these messages as I take them with me throughout my week. And with that, I release it by saying, and so it is. So please remember to join us for fellowship immediately after. That is not recorded. And we are still offering the opportunity for that 5-minute miracle where you can go meet with a practitioner in a separate breakout room. So I look forward to seeing you there.